Oh, let me turn this thing off. Now that the air is clean. Okay. I'm as ready as I'll ever be. So, busy day. Lot got done, lot got moved around. Let's see if I can find a comfortable spot here. Maybe I'm not ready. Yeah, let's see. What are the highlights? Well, I have some mushrooms I can pull out for us. We could basically, what I'll need to do is I'll be moving some grain spawn to bulk substrate. So I got the pressure steam sterilizer right there. I got the incubation chambers right there. So that'll be a project. Had quite the event with humidification today. I'll touch on that. Let's see. Broke another figurine. So that's a bummer. But yeah, so I've got the one project. Yeah, so the lion's mane's doing pretty well. I've got reishi bags in there now. Today I will be moving blue oyster mushrooms from rye grain to master's mix. I got about 4 bags. We could take a look at some of the other bags I got going on. And yeah, I feel like that's a fairly good amount. My old humidifier has gone to a better place, and so we will do perhaps a memorial service for the DIY humidifier. Old Blue served me well. I, for the most part, built a humidifier within about 30 minutes. So that was an event. Old Blue was leaking. I had to act quick. So, and I didn't want the humidity in the tent to drop below 80. I think it would have been fine, but I needed to get something functional going on there. I didn't want to play around, not with the precious cargo. Getting a couple people in here. I'll bring out the lion's mane, and then I've got some other topics. But yes, so memorial service for Old Blue. I'll be moving colonized rye grain to bulk substrate at some point here when the time comes. So these bags are getting pretty wild. I clean in fact, maybe I'll turn the light on here. So I'll tell you what happened. So I had this is lion's mane right here. You can check that out. All right, so this is not how it was supposed to go. It's looking pretty good, and it should be just fine. You can see it's doing what I wanted to intentionally, which is growing out of the slits. Right? So I went through the whole process. Put the bags into the fruiting chamber. Little notches, and I did this successfully before, and I put about an inch slit, and then nothing. And I was having a lot of bags get stunted. So troubleshoot. I'm like, well, all right, so is it the tent environment, or is it something wrong with the bag itself? What's going on? So in a state of frustration, I did end up just clear cutting the top off most of the bags. And what we have now is a diagnosis. So there's nothing wrong with the tent, although I should close it up. This is just fine, right? So I'm curious about how the harvest will work. But I think, and then some of them, here I'll bring out this one, it gets even weirder. So when things get weird, things get weird. Hold on, I want to save some of the humidity. Hold on. I'm doing more lighting in the tent. I don't know why. But that's what I'm hearing about reishi. So I got reishi bags in there now. So this one, again, I panicked, cut the top off. Now this one's actually doing, but then I also made the slits larger. So this one's fruiting properly, right? So that's a proper fruiting idea. It's looking a little stiff, but then, and now it's also fruiting out the top. So, anywho, this one's gonna be fruiting all over the place. One of the biggest signals was that it was growing up the bag towards the filter patch. And I took that as the idea there was it's looking for oxygen. So, yeah, but these are busting out pretty good. The reishi, we're still waiting on the reishi. Again, that's why I'm doing the lights. I'll be moving. Let me just take a peek. Yeah, we're just gonna have to be patient with that there. So I got other ones in here I can bring out later. I'll show you the, let's bring out some. I've got, so this is the guy that I want to break up. I broke him up one time, but essentially this will be what I move to bulk substrate. I missed that, sorry, but the good things. So so this is colonized rye grain, and I'll be moving this into bulk substrate bags, and I've got. So, and they'll look something like this, right? So this is bulk substrate bags. This is 623, so I think this is, I believe this is oyster. So what I do need to do is I need to start labeling things properly. This one's a little bit better. This is a pretty good example of, oh, I'm getting warm. So this is a pretty good example of mycelium in the process of taking over master's mixed substrate. La-di-da. And perhaps, so I will do a nod to Old Blue here before I bring out and maybe start doing a little bit of lab work. So Old Blue, I built him in, man. So I built Old Blue during COVID, and this is my old humidifier. So he died today. As you can see, I was having some issues here. This thing's all cracked up. I was taping him down because it was dripping all over the place. So, yeah, kind of sentimental. But I got my new guy here, built it in a half hour. People were laughing at me at Ace Hardware. I was running in and running out. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'll clean them up, and I was thinking about maybe putting them on a shelf. Maybe put them up here and give them a, kind of turn them into a mantle piece. So, okay, well let me get some bags out. Let me let's do a little. Let's do the deed here. I might take this hoodie off. I am kind of a little warm. So we're gonna move the rye grain berries into bulk substrate before moving them into bags, before moving them into the tent. So I'll turn the laminar flow hood on here. Let me get a mask. So I have an option. Okay. All right, so 15 PSI, 90 minutes. They have definitely cooled. So this is going to be blue oyster mushrooms. And this is bulk substrate, so I got 4 of these bags. This is my impulse heat sealer. Let's see if we got it on here. We do not. I just gotta know. I moved some things around, you know what I mean? I tried to bring this out a little bit. I put the humidifier on a stand. I put the tent on a platform as well that can roll around. So yeah, things are looking a lot better. I'm thinking I might even paint the wall tomorrow. And yeah, no, I mean, it's been good. I think when Blue passed away, and then I built this humidifier, like, it was kind of a little bit chaotic, but worth it nonetheless. So I'm going to break up the blue oyster mycelium here, and just a little bit, you know. So I broke it up once before, and so it kind of got recolonized. But here we go. I'm going to do 1 bag. This is a pretty small one even. I'm going to have that. I'm going to put it into 4 bulk substrate bags. And I think I've been putting in more than I need. So, oh gosh, well, let's see. So I've got 2 incubation chambers. I've got 1, 2. Well, some of these are bulk substrates. So this is 3, 4 bulk substrates. I got a reishi grain in here. And then I got 1, 2, I got a lion's mane grain, another reishi. So, okay, so 2, 4, I think I got 6 grains, and I got about 7 bulk substrates. I got about 8 in the tent right now. So I gotta tell you, I am right there. I am so close to this being streamlined. And then since I recently figured out since I diagnosed the lion's mane issue, that's a load off my mind. If I can get the reishi going. So I'll put this in here. Let me get a scissors. All right. I just gotta know. Yeah, it's been a hectic day. And I put way too much rubbing alcohol on these scissors. So let's give that a second. No, but I'm excited about the new humidifier, and I think it'll do pretty well. We're keeping it fresh. I'm cleaning the tent with let's see, what am I cleaning the tent with? I forgot. Hydrogen peroxide. Sorry, God, that was an easy one. Oh gosh, well, I am, I don't want to claim to be an expert, but that might not be a bad idea. Like I said, I've kind of been zoning in, and I feel like I'm right there to where now I can maybe, it's a lot more scalable. yeah, I had some hiccups with free air exchange. Again, like I said, I just swapped out my humidifier. I've got everything on platforms. I'm trying to get it off the ground. I've only successfully really done, in this environment, lion's mane, but I'm going to get oyster mushrooms, and I've got reishi in the thing. Let me show you, if anybody just joined, I'll show you my... So these things don't... So this wasn't intentional. Ideally, I want them growing out the side, but there you go. I mean, these are the lion's mane. Good color, you know, good teeth formation. This is what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to come out of slits. But what happened was that they weren't, my slits weren't big enough. So they weren't recognizing where the oxygen was. So they started running up the bag like this, and they started going towards the filter patch because it thought this was my best shot. So it would just literally just start crawling up and then go out. So, but I didn't know that, and I kept making the slits bigger, and so then I just cut the top off, and then there we go. But what this tells me is that the tent is just fine. The tent's just fine. Free air exchange, humidity, we're all good there. I've got reishi bags in here, but they are not fruiting yet. Let me just, yeah, they just got in here. So I'm using a light, and I don't know why. So speaking to that Q&A thing, it's like some of the stuff I just really don't even I mean, there's no photosynthesis with mushrooms, so. Okay, so I'm just gonna move some of this blue oyster mushroom grains into the bulk substrate here. I got the laminar flow hood going. Part of me just wants to pour it. All right. I just gotta know. All right. So I'm gonna do 4 bags with this. I put a lot in. That's, you know, I'm gonna put more. I put a lot in. In theory, I think this could probably do like 8. But what's gonna happen, it's just gonna colonize faster. So, not a problem. All right, so I got my impulse heat sealer set at a 6. And a good quality seal. Nothing better. Boom. All set. Put them over there. Get me another bag. So like I said, all right. There it is. I'm like, what am I doing? Yes, sir. Yep, I was on dog duty today. So. All right, so. All right, that's a lot. That's a lot. Fact. I'll show you maybe a partially colonized. Oh, it already did. No, it did not. Here, what the heck? I don't know what I was doing there. Okay, there it worked. I don't think I was moving it side to side. Let me show you partially, since I got some people here. Oh, well, we got enough people. I'm gonna bring out the mushroom again. So, I'm not an expert, but I'm getting there, and I feel it. I feel it. So the lion's mane, I had a successful run before, and now this isn't exactly how I wanted them to grow. Well, hello from Brazil. Cool. Right? Portuguese. Nice. And then here, I'll pull out some grain here. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Yeah, so this is the grain partially colonized, right? What do I have here? This is actually reishi mushrooms. This is reishi mycelium. So you can see it's kind of not over there, but it's here. Look at that. Look at that beautiful line. Kind of a yin yang, do. So I would say I probably got maybe 6 more days, and then what I'll do is I'll break and shake it, mix it up. 3 days later, it'll completely be colonized again, and then I'll do what I'm doing right now, which is move the colonized grain into a bulk substrate. All right, but the task at hand is this guy's sealed up here, so, and I'll mix this, but once it's sealed, I kind of keep the ball moving here. Oh, had the day off. Boy, the table's getting a little wet here. Let me. Yeah, pretty much. This is my garage. It's been a transformation over the last 3 or 4 months as I've been building a mushroom farm in it. And I am getting close. All right, so I don't much like that I touched it with the napkin, but I'll be okay. I'm pretty particular. I'm pretty good at keeping things semi-clean here. So, yep, and I'll be doing, so, lion's mane, blue oyster, and reishi. I keep the tent, I keep the grow tent at about 83, what do I keep it at? I keep it at between 83.5 to about 91, 92. And that's been working well. All right. Lady, I'm on down to the red town, taking it away to the... Nice. Oh yeah. This is great. Check the seal. Sometimes when the plastic bunches up, it doesn't quite get there. Boy, I gotta take a breather. I'm still on humidifier construction mode. Because really it's just, I built this thing this afternoon. My old one has, it bit the dust. So, but it's looking pretty good. I think I've got an IP68 fan, an ultrasonic humidifier inside. All of this is connected in part to my humidifier control system. And then that's pretty much it. Shoot some air in, pushes the humidity into the tent. I got a sensor in there. I've got an exhaust fan. So ideally, Ideally, the humidity will shoot over the intended target, kind of forcing the exhaust fan to come on, which will help with free air exchange. Keep this guy in the cone of sterility. Yes. Oh, right. And so this is Master's Mix substrate. I'm growing, I'm growing everything on it. With reishi, my understanding is that it may not be the most ideal, but we're going to find out because it's in there now. And yeah, growing mushrooms, I mean, victories are victories, but boy, oh boy, if something goes sour, it's like defeating. Especially, it just takes a lot of time, you know. This is, something's beeping in my pocket. Here, I better check just to, oh, it's my, I've been checking the electric every day and recording to see how much electric usage we're using. So May's bill was a little bit, or last month was a little high, so I'm kind of through the process of elimination, figuring it out. I've got an infrared heater. You can't see it behind the laminar flow hood here, but that works out pretty well. I got it set at about 62. Enough to keep the garage fairly comfortable, actually, and I'm digging it. So, all right, so I'll use the rest of this bag, or close to it. I've been going with the pour. Whenever I say that, I always miss. See? Ideally, I don't touch the inside of the bag. But that's a lot of grain. That's a lot of colonized grain. Hey. So this is, like I said, I could have probably done 8, 10 bags with that. I've got a 75 quart All-American pressure steam sterilizer. I can fit maybe, I think I've gotten up to 8 bags. Well, let me get this thing sealed up. What am I yammering on about? So essentially, once I get this sealed up, I'm a lot more confident about contamination issues. Let me, so we got some people in here, not to bore the people who have been hanging out, but I do want to show what I got. And I'll say that I'll always have the caveat that it's not exactly as planned here, but this is my lion's mane as it's going down. All right. So that is it. Again, if you're just joining, the situation was they weren't fruiting at all. And I had slits in the bag. The slits weren't big enough, right? It did not recognize that. Yeah, it's about a 5-pound block. My weights, the process, is it a viable option for Master's Mix? Yeah, this is Master's Mix. This is Master's Mix. The only thing that a guy told me that Master's Mix was out of place was reishi. Something about wood loving, you know? It'll work. The fear was that it would colonize it slowly, which is not the case. I'll show you a bag. Well, in fact, this is reishi right here. I'm fruiting this. This is reishi. It's not going yet. So, ouch. So the one fear was that it was going to colonize Master's Mix too slowly, thus opening the possibility for contamination. And then the other theory I think is that it might have a little bit too much nitrogen, perhaps, and that it might get might be more gangly. It might not have like good conchs to it. God, we want the conchs. So let's see. This is 623. Give me a, where's a reishi at here? Oh, that's, hold on. I want to make sure I'm accurate. I've got, yeah, this looks like a reishi. So this guy's pretty much ready to go. In fact, maybe I might move him into the tent now. Lime pasteurization. So I've been sterilizing. I'm sterilizing. I'm doing 15 PSI for 90 minutes. I forgot there was a guy that wanted me to do some sort of rice tech, but man, I got a lot going on. So, boy, you can almost see it kind of swirling a little bit. Yeah, this thing needs to go. So in fact, let's move this to the tent. So this is a block of reishi, which I neither labeled nor dated. This is my thing, right? I never learn. If you're ever doing this, label and date everything. So I'll sterilize my scissors, but essentially I'm just going to take the top off this guy. I mean, I want the reishi to grow straight up. And I've got a new, and that's pretty much the only reason I have a light in there now. I'm still struggling to figure it out. It's like, well, I think mushrooms know which way is up by gravity. I'm not, and there's no photosynthesis involved, so, but everywhere I turn, it's like you got to turn a light on so it knows what's going on. I'll let that scissors dry. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the bag off at the top, and we will see how long it takes for reishi mushrooms to grow out of this. And then we will this is the blue oyster mushroom, so I'm going to try to mix it. I'm going to embarrass myself a little bit because this is, I just never really know how to do this correctly. I'm always concerned that I'll rip it open. But I'm just going to do the best I can. And see, that was a pretty good mix, you know, I mean, it's in there. And yeah, right on. You do the best we can. Okay, and then what did I say? Label and date, right? So this is going back into the incubation chamber. So what were my dates last time? It was, they were I think it was, gosh, it'll come to me here in a second. All right, so what do we have? This is blue oyster mushroom, and it's the 27th. It's the 27th. Right on. All right, and then this goes back into the incubation chamber. I will say within 12 days, this will look like this, right? And then after that, there won't be any more break and shake. I started doing that for a while, and that is not, I have no idea what lime pasteurized is anything, but no more break and shake. Once it colonizes, it'll just go into the tent. This one, I'm going to go back to the slits. And my understanding is that oyster mushroom is much more forgiving of whole size. So, and that was the debacle with the lion's mane. Let me show you one that went all over the place. I've had mushrooms that just start revolting. it's like life will find a way. Mushrooms in particular, they don't care. So look at, so this actually started fruiting late. I had already cut the top off, so they're fruiting on the top too, kind of near the sides, which tell me that that's maybe where like humidity is. So I don't know how many flushes I'll get out of this because I had abandoned hope on the original bulk pasteurization. So the way I bulk pasteurize, I bulk sterilize. So that's just what I do. I do 15 psi for 90 minutes. And that is full sterilization. I imagine pasteurization is just simply not as, not to that extent. So let me see here. Let me look in the incubation chamber and see if anyone's got. They make homemade like barrel sterilization things. Ooh, this one's good too. Dang it. So my question here, oh look at this. I put blue mushroom with a question mark. Blue oyster mushroom with a question mark. See, this is what happens to me. 6/13, what's today's date? The 27th. So this is a while. I'm questioning whether this has been break and shaked yet. This needs a home. So what I'll do tomorrow, is I'll probably sterilize some berries, and then move our little mystery bag here. This is why you gotta label stuff. So that's that. But this is the rye grain. It's all workflow. You know what I mean? Like that's. And this isn't. I don't do that. This is. I have a job, so it's like. I come home. I do this. This is taking over my life. Not that hard to do, but what do we got here? This is blue oyster mushroom, 6/13, coming around. This is actually quite slow. Oh no, this is reishi. Reishi, 6/13. So this, I originally thought reishi was a very slow colonizer. Somebody kind of snapped at me on that one a little bit. They basically said, no, it's a fast one. I've had multiple experiences. It colonized the master's mix really quickly, but sometimes I find that it takes its time. So what I need is I'll probably need to build another incubation chamber. Boy, I'm cooking in here. I wonder if that heater might be. Maybe it's this mask and. Okay, time. Oh, what was I going to do? Okay, so this is the reishi bag, and I'm just going to cut off the top because I want the reishi just to go straight out. And I'm going to throw this in the tent. I cleaned the scissors with some rubbing alcohol. I'm going to give it a little bit of a skirt. I'm not too concerned about contamination at this point. Looks like it's doing just fine. But I think it wants to live. All right, getting kind of funky in there. Not like in a bad way. Just any kind of mycelium growth. I mean, this is, you can kind of see. All right, so it's pretty much taken over. Yep, all right, well, I'm going to throw it in the tent. It's got a little bit of a yellow color, but I don't believe that's an issue. I do not believe that is contamination. I've seen contamination before. So, I just throw garbage around when I'm in the thick of battle. So, so we'll get these mixed up back into the incubation chamber, and we're cruising. I'm on it. I'm feeling. This is my mushroom farm that I've built in my garage. So this has been a long time coming, and that's why, you know, my humidifier died today. And not to be sentimental about an inanimate thing, but you know, I built it during COVID, right? It was like 2021. I wasn't living here. I was living in a different house. And then, you know, I ordered this computer fan from China, and then I bought this all this. One of my first YouTube shorts was about the DIY humidifier. So it's kind of sad seeing it sit over there, just which makes me tell me maybe I'm thinking about maybe building a shelf or something, putting it up. Maybe I'm taking it too far. But now I got this. Now I got a beast. This thing is a beast. So this is a really good tote. And I had to throw it together on the fly today, because that humidifier was broken. The tote was busted, and so I had to build this as fast as possible, because I thought, oh my gosh, I'm just figuring this out now, and the whole tent's gonna go down unless I can build a humidifier in like a half hour. And that's what I did. I built a humidifier in a half hour. I broke one of my mushroom statues in the fray. So that was the second one I busted. So yeah, so I'm just mixing the colonized grain in with the master's mix. Well, easy now. And you know, so from here, but essentially with blue oyster mushrooms, I think I mapped it out. It's about 6 weeks. So I can go from a petri dish to a fruiting bag of oyster mushrooms in the grow tent in 6 weeks. And then in theory, I'll have the workflow down so that I'll have yeah, you know, I don't know why mushrooms growing on cow poop. Although I was out at the compost today, I opened that thing up. It's going crazy. So, because I throw any like byproduct in there, and it's doing just fine. So it doesn't surprise me that yeah, I mean, mushrooms grow in nature. You know what I mean? This is like, but I'm trying to really isolate it down. Here, I'll show you old Blue. Here, so this is my old humidifier. Right, he has passed away. So he was just busted up here. But this is where the fan would come in, and then this is the tubing into the thing. But you can see I had like electrical tape all over this thing trying to hold him down. And then this is the new butte right here. He's looking good. I got a new stand underneath. So, nope, but yeah, this is the first thing that I did getting ready for this. And I did that, this is like 4 years ago that I built Old Blue. And it's, well, here, let me Let's get some eye candy in here. Oh, look at this guy. Look at that mycelium growing on there. That's wicked, right? So what do I got here? Again, not labeled, 623. So I'll go on YouTube and see what I did on 623 and try to garner some evidence about what I have here. So I'm right there. I solved the lion's mane issue. I got blue oyster mushrooms on deck. I got reishi in there, which may take a while. I got the whole system down, right? I got the incubation, sterilization, incubation chamber. Where'd my notebook go? I do want to get a culture bank, right? I do want to get a culture bank. That would be it. If I could create slants. So all right, incubation chamber, I've got 2. I could probably do 3. I'm going to convert a freezer into a refrigerator. And then I can do a culture bank with slants. And then that's it. That's the lab piece right at the beginning of the whole process. Yeah. Well, I've been moving stuff around. I actually had this backed up, but I moved it out. And now the tent has more room to roam. I could move this table away. I got the incubation chambers on a metal shelving unit. And so that's why I only did 2, because the third one was going to be pretty high up there. I'm taking plywood. I'm building platforms on plywood with wheels, so I can roll everything around. The laminar flow hood, I kind of got this. Well, there you go. Well, no, that works just fine. But this also serves as a impulse heat sealer. Or no, what am I? I'm getting all my words. A thermal mass. I don't know where I'm. So the infrared heater actually heats this thing, and then it acts kind of as a thermal mass in the room. So there's a dual purpose there. But yeah, I think I have an Inkbird humidity controller, and I feel like that's pretty vital. And I've got a good, yes. I think I'm the only mushroom farm in Sitka, Alaska. I don't even think there's one in Juneau. In part, the laws have changed. So again, not to get stuck on COVID, but it was like they thought we were going to run out of food. So there was like a couple weeks there where the governor was like, they were threatening to stop sending food. The barge was not going to come up anymore because nobody knew what was going on. And he was like, oh, we'll run out of, we need to eat. And so a lot of regulations have been cut, even just like last fall, where it's just like, if you can grow it here, grow it here. And so this is considered a specialty crop. That was House Bill 251. So, all right, but I did the platforms. I think that was a huge win. Gets everything off the floor, makes it more mobile. I want to paint the wall. That's kind of aesthetic. I'm going to turn the freezer into a refrigerator. Start doing slants. And then potentially add one more incubation chamber. And I think then I'm looking pretty good. So there really isn't any. So House Bill 251 was passed. All licensing was eliminated. All inspections were removed. It depends on what you're doing. If I'm selling fish, then I've got a lot of loopholes to jump through. But mushrooms, they really don't care. The damage is minimal. You can't really do too much damage. Like a bad oyster mushroom, it looks bad, but it probably tastes bad, but it's not like super dangerous. So, but here, I got some people in here. Let me make sure everybody's seen the line main. I know I'm stuck on this, but this is where it's at. So, if I gotta win, I gotta win, right? So here's my lion's mane so far. And again, this is not how it was intended to do, but this was a good lesson, and that I now know what that the tent is good. It got a little musty. The tent started getting a little musty, so I have to get a cleaning. I have to get a cleaning regimen. I cleaned it with hydrogen peroxide. The first time I cleaned it with alcohol with rubbing alcohol. And first of all, I needed to get a mask. It was like fumes, and then I couldn't keep I had to take all the bags out. So I took all the bags out, and then now they're in open air. It's drier. I think it did some damage. Here, I got to put the cap on the incubation chamber here. So, hold on. All right. And then what am I doing with this guy? Is he just hanging out? Yeah, he's just going to hang out with me. So this is another mystery bag. I believe this is blue oyster. I don't understand why I don't label. I always say I'm going to label, and then I got the date though. So I just go into my, they're going good. Yeah. Oh, I'm hitting it. I think I got it. I think I got it down. All it took was like a long time and most of my life. So, well, I go to work, and then I come back and I go home and I come to the garage. So this is where I'm at. So I got the lion's manes kicking butt, reishi's in there pending, oyster mushrooms in the works. The climate control is on point. The sterilization process is working. I don't really have a contamination issue. The oyster mushroom bucket failed. I've gone almost strictly to bags. I just replaced my humidifier. Tragically, Old Blue has ended his career with honor. And I've gone to this guy back here. It's like a tank. So that feels pretty good. Everything's on platforms. And yeah, no, I'm ecstatic. I think I got it. And cleaning the tent. I think a regiment with cleaning the tent. I need some sort of master calendar. I need to have workflow pegged. Because the other thing, it's like, all right, let's say I want to do a load of ryegrain berries. Well, I have to soak the berries. I did have a gypsum issue. So I was putting too much gypsum into the ryegrain soaks, and it was making it, I believe, acidic, and it was shutting me down. So that's something to be conscious of. So I would do a soak, that's a 24-hour soak, 12 to 24-hour soak, and then the next night, I got to take it out of the soak, and then I got to sterilize it, Okay, I can't leave it. I got to man the sterilizer. And then it's sterilized, and then I got to let it cool. So then the next night, oh gosh, what am I getting the grains for? I'm all over the place. This last batch, I do not have. See, holy smokes. Give me a second. Let's see, I'm trying some out. My mom has actually, she'll fly up to visit me, and all of a sudden she'll open up her suitcase, and it'll just be like rye grain berries. It's like, Mom, I think I'm all right. And she's like, no, I like smuggling these things. So I'm actually trying the ancient grains. You know, yeah, this is, I guess, Grand Teton. So what did I get these for? My cost analysis isn't mapped in quite yet. So this is gonna, it wasn't too bad. Let's see. I literally bought this off of Amazon. This is a 24-pound bag. It looks like the shelf life on these things is 2 years. Boy, they gave it to me fresh. But the thing about Amazon is I get free shipping. I mean, I can't. Let's see. I got 2 bags. I got 2 24-pound bags, so I got 48 pounds of rye grain berries. And you know, and they go further than what I did today. I think I put like 4 or 5 pounds of rye grain berries. I only did like 4 bags of bulk substrate. I could have probably done like 8 or 12. So I think you can really stretch it. Yeah, so it's, you know, I think it's like $1.50 a pound, maybe $1.75 a pound, right? And so you could maybe make a 5-pound bag. So we'll say $2 a pound, and that's leaning high, Azure standard. Oh wow, okay, that's great. I mean, ultimately, I'm not buying enough. I need to do like pallets. I need to do pallets, and and then have it freighted with whatchamacallit. That's how I got this puppy up here. So, well, I send it to Seattle. So I send it to Seattle, and yeah, here's my brown bag. Yeah, I send it to Seattle, and then they freight it up. And so it's just, they put it on a pallet, and I can just order a bunch. Like I said, now that I'm dialed in, I think I'm ready to rock. I have to talk to the food co-op, because if I'm going to start unloading some mushrooms here, this is gonna be pretty wild. And restaurants, I can sell to restaurants now. You know, like House Bill 251. It is wild, wild west in Alaska with regards to specialty crops or vegetables. If you grow them, you can sell them. Like I think they were calling it like the Freedom Food Act. Oh gosh. I'd have to look at some of my paperwork. I've been messing with AI on like, how many bags did I think I could get in there? I think I could fit maybe 40 bags in there. And then I think maybe like 200 pounds a week. Ish. That seems like a lot. if I'm maxed out. I think if I push it all the way. I mean, the whole town's going to have to know. I don't know how much the food co-op sells, how much food they move through, in the restaurants and stuff like that. I'm going to have to get insured. We're going for 5-pound blocks. And full disclosure, I'm kind of estimating a little bit. So I've done the big blocks on accident, and that's not good. So 5 pounds, we're shooting for 5-pounders. Reishi, I'm kind of, I think it's kind of a beauty thing. I'm trying to aesthetically, I think it would be good for content and fun. The idea is maybe like one day I could put it in coffee or a supplement, but right now I just want to know if I can grow it so that it is kind of a personal milestone as well. $150 blocks, that seems a bit much at a time. I'm going to say, I don't really have a lot of weighing. I think I could get 3 to 5 pounds a block, a 1.25 average. That seems a little low to me. You could be completely spot on. I feel like I can do better than. I feel like I could get 2 to 4 pounds a block. Depends what we're talking about too. And who knows? Maybe I should do bigger blocks. There's kind of a rack in there. Maybe I need a bigger tent. And part of me says I'm getting ahead of myself. I think I feel like I could do 2 to 3 pounds first flush. I feel like that. That could be wishful thinking. But I feel like 2 buckets. So I did the bucket, fully colonized, found a tiny bit of mold growing on it. So it's in the backyard. Oh yeah, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. But it's taken over my life. I mean, yeah, if you're gonna do it, this is all I do. I go to work. I'm in healthcare, and then I come to my garage. So this is my jam. YouTube is nice. It adds an element that I think is going well. But it's just the little stuff, you know what I mean? Like I said, the gypsum on the rye cranberries, I'm adding too much of that. Oh, I got acidic. Then it was the free air exchange with the lion's mane. And then the humidifier broke. Ultimately, I'm gonna have to probably double up on everything. Like even my impulse heat sealer here was kind of getting rickety. And I thought, oh my God, if this thing's busted, I mean, well, for one thing, the event that I was doing then was over, but it could be 2 to 3 weeks before I get another one. So I'm gonna need a backup probably of everything. Even though I just built a humidifier, I'm gonna probably need to build one more just because if it breaks, if something weird happens, I need to be able to replace it within a short time frame. Big bucket items, the pressure steamer, the pressure steam sterilizer, that is kind of a treasure. So backing that up will be tough. I have tiny autoclaves but that would require me to have like a stovetop, maybe go in the house, and it would be much smaller. Yeah. All in jars. Well, I did, so I'm doing an experiment. You know, the bag thing, you know, for some reason I ran into people who are like, oh, they have biodegradable bags. But people were saying that they weren't really like holding stuff. Ooh, look at that. Is that mold or is that right? Is that mycelium? So, well, that would be exciting if that's what I want to see. That looks like mycelium to me. So what I did here, oh, cool. Yeah, I think I've seen those before. The enokis in the glass jar people. Yeah, those are nuts. There's so many jars. So I once tried to do reishi on brown rice flour cakes, and it failed. So I made a custom blend where I've made, and this is alder chips, master's mix, and vermiculite. And so I think I've got some, I think that's, it looks like a ring, but I think that's mycelium. I think that's mycelium. Yeah, cool. All right. Oh, I think I see some right there too. You see that? No? It's a little hard. So yeah, no, this is kind of an experiment. The reason I'm doing this, and this was kind of for video stuff, was I wanted to make so that people could grow reishi in shotgun terrariums. Because I thought that would be kind of a fun thing, even because they offer all this grant money if you're involved in the educational system. So I thought if I can get it to where it's super easy to grow a really cool mushroom like reishi in something where they could do like in the classroom, not just for the money, but you know. Then so anyway, so this is a custom cake that's been inoculated by reishi liquid cultures, and then this would be the shotgun terrarium, right? So people could do this. People could do this in the classroom. People could do this at their home. So we'll see. But like I said, the brown rice flours did not work at all with reishi. So many failures. I've had so many failures. If you're not, I mean, growing mushrooms, it can really beat you up. It's like something gets contaminated, like when the bucket went down, that was brutal. Brutal. Let me see if the other jars are doing any good. Let's see if this is exciting stuff. If that's the, is he the only one that's, nope, they're all doing it. Uh-oh, cool. Yeah. Well, 2. All right. 2 out of 9. But that's pretty minimal. All right, so sweet. So reishi cakes coming soon in shotgun terrariums. And but mostly I'm going to be doing bags. And then yeah, food co-op. Start hitting some restaurants. I'm hoping to have quite a lot of content coming here pretty soon, especially if I've got actual mushrooms coming. Let me change the scene here. Let me move this over here. There's a lot of, oh gosh, be gentle. Move my bag. So, yeah, just staying organized, you know, that's the name of the game. Yeah, the lion's mane just looks kind of goofy when it's growing out the top, and I don't know how this will affect harvest. But like you can see, I made 2 slits there, nothing. A lot of these I was sitting on for like a while. Look at how goofy it kind of looks. I think I'm going to run into an issue because, I mean, fruit, you know, pulling the fruiting bodies off the top is going to be bizarre. But like I said, at least I know the tent, the environment is spot on. And it was just a matter of making the holes bigger. And I think that's just the lion's mane thing. Oyster mushroom, I guess, is a lot more forgiving. And with reishi, I'm just dealing with the clear. The top's just going straight off. I'll show you the, and then I got essentially, you know, Master's Mix bags. I run out of bags. And so I've been getting Master's Mix from a place out of Wisconsin. Yeah, I just get Master's Mix out of pellets. So again, kind of an Amazon thing. But yeah, once I'm ready to rock, I'll just order pallets, send them to Seattle, have them barged up. And like I said, I think another incubation chamber will be needed because you can really only fit maybe 7 bags per homemade incubation chamber. So that's 14 bags for 2. And then ideally, yeah, I might even need like 4 or 5. I might need 4 or 5. Build a cost analysis. I don't really know what invoices would look like. Insurance, there's the flip program. That's what all the food trucks are going through. I think the platforms were a good investment. I think I'll paint the wall. I'm going to set up another air filtration system up here. We'll see how the winter goes. Does it grow the same rate? Oh, you're talking to somebody on the thing? Yeah, insurance, but that's the flip program. Well, I think, you know, I want to do a lion's mane as it's supposed to look, as it's supposed to be. I want a good run there. And then I'll want a good run with oyster mushrooms. And then I'll just get established with a food co-op. And then scale up. I'll double all my equipment, buy an extra of everything, which seems absurd, but I learned today, like, it was a circus. I mean, yeah. No, I had a good, I did it, you know, I had lion's mane going. And I did little slits, and they came flying out. And then for whatever reason, this time I made inch and a half gash, and they didn't come out. And then I went back, admittedly a little aggressive, and I kind of opened them up, and now they're flying. Or a lot of them I just took the bag off entirely. So what can you do? I think, well, I did it. Yeah, no, super hopeful. I think this is killer. I'm having a great time. it takes a lot. Yeah. Oh yeah. I am really live. I might visit some farms down south. A buddy of mine convinced me to go on a small trip, which I'm going to go on. But I thought, well, gosh, I'll find. So I just searched up, and there's a couple of mushroom farms down there. So I think I might just give them a call, send them an email, and see if I can come in and check out their wares. Yeah. No, thanks, guys. Nose reveal. Well. All right. I am not an expert. In fact, I may put it up on the wall, not an expert. Although I'm getting there. I am attempting to grow 2 to 3, maybe 4 varieties of mushrooms in a systematic, controlled environment. And yeah, it was a lot more than I thought. I would say I didn't get into the garage until about February. I've been collecting stuff up until that point, and I would dabble, but this is full blown. This is as full blown as I've ever gotten it. So there's really no turning back now. I mean, I've hit the tipping point, and all I'm doing is upgrading stuff. So, and I got nothing better to do. You know what I mean? So this will just be my life, and I'm okay with that. So, but I may part ways. I am on dog duty, so I need to take care of the mutts. And yeah, but I make shorts. I've been making daily shorts. I'll start making more long form content. Like I said, if I go down south, I might start doing like farm interviews. I'm wrapping it up, but I got a mushroom farm that I've got going on here. Sir, ma'am. Yeah, I might do. I think a lot of hope. I've got oyster mushrooms, lion's mane. Well, here, let me show you. You know, you never know who's in here. I do need to set up like. So this wasn't the way I wanted to do it. I've gone back and forth like a dozen times now. So this isn't ideal, but here's some lion's mane. Right? Now, I'll say this one more time. It's been a long feed for me. Oh, yeah, thank you. They do look nice. They've got, you know, you're really looking for the teeth. These are pretty dense. Ideally, you cut the slit, and that's where they come out of. I was having a lot of stalled bags, and I didn't know what the problem was. So I started clear cutting the bag off entirely. And what ultimately I figured out is it's going for oxygen. And my slit was not enough for it to know where to go. And so it was crawling up the bag, going for the air filter patch, thinking that was its best chance to find free air exchange. So, but problem solved, right? So it's been diagnosed. The bags are fine. The environment's fine. It's just simply the exit strategy. So yeah, this is lion's mane. Tonight I combined, I put colonized oyster mushroom grains into this master's mix bulk substrate. I'll put this into the incubation chambers, warm them up, it'll get colonized, and then I'll go and put it in the fruiting chamber. Yeah. Yes. No, mushrooms are great. I think this is, oh, yeah. Oh, the victories and the mistakes. I've got reishi in here. Those are pending. So that should be coming pretty soon. I'm going to turn the light off. My new humidifier. I'll put these guys in their resting spots. Yeah, for a while there I was like, oh, I don't want to build another humidifier, and then it became not an option. It was time, had to go, had to happen. So I am running out of room in my chambers here. So something's got to give. I got to do another, I got to have another incubation chamber. Oh Lord, yeah, this is getting tight. I got 2 more to put in there. All right, well, I'll figure it out. I'll Tetris it in. So yeah, nope, got a list of things to do. I'll probably paint the wall tomorrow, and I'll talk to the co-op. I'm hoping I can sell mushrooms to the farmers market co-op. Oh man, I think by the end of summer, I think going into the winter, maybe, I think that's a reasonable goal. So like September, October, was it June? So July, August. So I'm gonna say September. I think that's a reasonable goal. And then, yeah, I'll just lock and load. And then I'm gonna have to bulk order substrate materials and double up on any kind of equipment that I have, just so that I have backups. And yeah, just hone the craft, right? So, okay, well, I'm gonna bail. I gotta go. I gotta eat something, drink some water, clean up. So I appreciate everybody's support, and have a lovely evening. So stay tuned. I make shorts every day, and more long form coming. I do about 2, I think I've been trying to do about 2 live feeds a week. So, and usually I have some sort of activity encapsulated with that. Yeah, so hopefully lots of action. So stay tuned. Appreciate it.